Now, a habit is the difference between hoping you'll achieve your goals and ensuring it. It comes through consistency, every day building that thing that will happen without your thought. So this morning we're moving like we do every day so that we can move every other day without thought. This morning we've got active recovery. We'll move our body through some range of motion, warm it up, and be ready to hit it hard tomorrow. But maintain that habit. Before we move, we're going to choose our first thoughts today. Move our minds. So as we do every day, what you're going to do first thing here is find yourself some space where you can sit down. Not on a chair, but on your feet in what we call our passive squat or paleo squat position. Feet under the hips, relax down. If you feel like you're going to fall backwards, hold on to something in front as a counterbalance. And what we're going to do here is choose our first thoughts of the day so that we're not just following our default thoughts, being intentional here. As we do so, we're going to do some box breathing. It'll be a 4-second inhale, a 4-second pause at the top, 4-second exhale, and a 4-second pause at the bottom while we choose our first thoughts. So if you want to join me, we'll start with an inhale. Go ahead. Hold at the top. Exhale. Hold. I am responsible. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. I will make time between stimulus and response. Inhale. Hold. Here's a stimulus. Exhale. Hold. I have all I need to succeed today and will focus on progress over perfection. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. I choose gratitude. Inhale. All right. Dog's ready. Dog's always ready. Next, let's start moving our bodies. We've gotten up out of bed. Now it's time to get off the floor. Good morning, Job. Good morning, Talia. Good morning, equipment. Good morning, Jody. So, as we start every morning, 2 minutes, lay down on the floor, get back up. You can call it a burpee. You can call it a lay down on the floor. Call it what you want. The purpose is to get up. We're just going to move through these for about 2 minutes. Not about 2 minutes, exactly 2 minutes. You can start nice and slow. Walk it down, walk it up. Increase the pace as you feel the energy to do so. While you're doing that, give yourself credit. Because especially today, when it's not sexy, when it's not heavy lifting, when we're doing the required work to maintain your body so that you can keep the habit, not everybody will do this. A lot of people will take a rest day. They'll take the day completely off, maybe even sleep in, and as a result, make it harder and harder over time to maintain the habit of getting up. We want to create a routine such that when that alarm goes off in the morning, any day of the week, you pop up without thought, because that's just what you do. That's the habit that's been built. It happens automatically. And these days, these Sunday, these active recovery days are probably the ones that are easiest to skip. It's easy enough to say, well, today's just a light day, or, I'm not really getting any, strength benefit or whatever out of today, so I might as well just rest. It's not about that. I guess there's benefit from moving the body every day and keeping the blood flowing and, lubricating the joints and all that. But at the same time, it's about, or more importantly, it's about creating the habit. It's about becoming the person that does it no matter what. Right? I don't just work out on the days, or I don't just wake up early on the days that I'm crushing myself with a workout. I do it every day. All right. We're going to start with just a standing march. Nice and easy. You can even hold the top for a sec. Alternating legs. Trying to maintain a nice neutral spine as you do so, which means standing tall, keeping the standing leg straight. We get, up to 20 or so alternating here. Think about reaching your head to the ceiling as you do so. And then next we'll get into our good morning. Think about setting the feet underneath the hips and then pushing your butt back while keeping the chest up proud. Feel the hamstrings, then squeeze the butt at the top. Push the hips back, push the hips forwards. Feel some hamstrings, feel the butt squeeze. Had another little mishap with the sheep yesterday. Well, we don't need to get into that too much. All right. From there, we're just going to stand on one foot. And what we're aiming to do here is just drop the non-standing hip and then press it up. We're working on a little bit of stability, a little bit of foot strength, and just turning on the hip. Getting a little bit of blood flowing in the hip. Good morning, Ryan. Happy Sunday. A few more of those. We'll switch sides. Ooh. Yeah, that right one's a little finicky this morning. But that's part of why we do this, right? Find those spots that we've maybe beat up a little during the week and give them some love, right? So that we don't end up in a overtrained place. We're doing our self-care here today, you could call it. All right, from there, we're going to go into an alternating lunge. So a nice long step back, let that back knee kiss the floor, drive up through both feet. Aiming to keep a nice vertical front shin as you do so. Here we go. Get at least 10 or so there. How's everybody feeling this morning? How's the body? Next will be our thoracic spine rotations. So come on down onto all fours. Maybe we'll switch it up a little bit today. Just sit on your butt. You're gonna go hand on the temple, second hand on the floor between your knees, just out in front. And then we're gonna go elbow to elbow and then elbow to ceiling. A little less twist, just changing up a little bit than the thread and needle. You can do the thread and needle if you prefer. You can also just hop on a machine if you've got one there and you want to just be a little more mindless and just move on the machine. Feel free. Let's switch sides. You could do this from an all fours position as well. Whatever you prefer. One more, and then we'll hop up for our first set of air squats. Set those feet underneath the shoulders. Send the hips back and down until the hips come below the knees. And drive it up. At the top, always think about squeezing the butt standing tall. Rock around a little bit there, find the ankles. You might notice that one of them likes to roll in a little more than the other. Not uncommon. Okay, and then we're going to get a second round here. Get a little bit of rotation at the hip. So I'm just going in front and out to the side, back out in front. Not coming from the side yet. Get 5 or 6 here, and then we'll do it from the outside. So now coming from the outside in, whoop, like a little, kind of doing a circle, outside, forward, and down. Do the same thing on the other side, starting in the front, coming out. Maple, it's closed. I get a nice little clunk in there every time. And then same thing outside in. Hip flexors should start burning a little bit on these, especially if you keep that knee off, that foot off the ground. All right, next we'll go staggered stance. Good morning. So the toes of one foot lined up with the heel of the other at about hip width. Send the hips back, feel the hamstring on the front leg. Stand up, squeeze the butt at the top. Always squeezing the butt. A few more there, we'll switch sides. Ooh. Potentially notice that one side is tighter than the other. That's probably pretty normal. You can always spend more time on the tight side. Try to even it up. Next will be our single leg hinge. Golfer's deadlift, call it. What do we have it called there? Lateral hip warm up. Yeah, it's not really. Okay, so on this one, just standing on a single leg, and you're just gonna hinge over forward. Bring the hands down however far as you'd like. Just trying to maintain balance on that standing foot the whole time. Getting a little more activation of the hip. Squeeze that butt cheek at the top as well, the standing leg. And a little bit of hamstring and glute on that side. Switch sides. Remember, our goal today is kind of, by the end of this, to feel like you would want to work out, right? All your kinks are worked out, the body is feeling loose, and you kind of feel that desire to push it a little bit because the body feels great, and that's ideally where we're going to cut it. It's like a tease so that tomorrow you're excited and ready to go. All right, from there, we'll get into our Spider-Man lunge. So go ahead and start into a plank position. Take one foot outside the hands, and we'll just wiggle around. You can go forwards, backwards, side to side. Ryan says, happy Sunday morning. Oof, lower back tight from Sandbag Mayhem yesterday. I get you. That was a good workout yesterday. So that's why today we're just moving. We're going to do a little bit of slow burpees, a little bit of hang, some bear crawl, and some crab walk. Moving through the shoulders a little bit, opening up the hips. Oh, switch sides if you haven't. Looks like we're missing Jason this morning. Yaroslav. Interesting. Hi, Doug. Hi. We'll do one more per side here. I probably hang out too long on each one of these, but I just love it. Just like this one. Excuse me. We'll do one more switch here. Oh. Yeah. What do you think, doggy dog? What do you think? A couple more here. We'll do one more thoracic spine opener and then set of squats before we get going. Okay, for the thoracic spine this time, we're just going to go more extension. I like this one. So let's do this. Actually, we're going to go reverse snow angels on this one. So you're going to lift your thumbs off the ground, bring the hands overhead, back down to the sides. And you're just doing a face down snow angel, trying to keep the arms straight and off the floor as high as you can. I don't know if I suggest doing these in the snow. You can get a mouthful, but hey, or near this dog who's now attacking me. You're not helping. All right, and then we'll hop up for our second set air squats. We'll get another 10 here or so, and then we'll get on it. Hey, Doug. Yeah, you're just in the way, aren't you? You're in the way. All right. That feels warm-ish. Keep moving here. Whew. All right, so what we got here today. Jody, I miss my pups. Yeah, I can imagine. Must feel weird working out without them right now. All right. So today, as I was saying, 4 movements, EMOM 20, meaning we're going to go through 5 sets of each, just alternating or rotating through those 4 movements. Movement number 1 is just a burpee. Just get yourself down, get yourself up. Doesn't need to be fast. The goal is just to move. If you want, of those 4 movements, that one is the one that you can push if you want to get a little bit of conditioning, a little bit of heart rate elevation, and because the other 3 aren't going to be super intense. So all you're looking at there is get yourself down, get yourself up, celebrate at the top by leaving the ground. One thing that I like to think is if you were going to step back or step forward in your burpee, meaning when you get down, 1 foot goes back and then 1 foot comes back forward when you come up, instead of the hop, what I'm going to suggest is that you alternate legs. So if you come down, you go right leg back, left leg forward or something. Make sure that you alternate there. Whoops. Left leg back, right leg forward, that you're always getting both sides done there, whether it's right, left, whatever. Movement number 2 is less of a movement, more of a static position. We're just going to do some passive hanging. So if you got your pull-up bar, get that set up. If you don't have a pull-up bar, what I'm going to suggest is you can kind of lean yourself underneath a table, right? Put your legs out in front, hang on a table. You could just work your grip without being overhead by holding some dumbbells or something by your sides. You obviously don't get the benefit of being overhead there, but still the benefit of some grip work. If you do have a pull-up bar, you can choose any kind of options here, whether it's just a 2-handed hang, overhand, underhand. If you really want, you could mess around with single arm, but really just a good shoulder, chest opener, even if you want to just hang. But mess around with that. You can choose whatever option you kind of want during that hang movement. Number 3 is a bear crawl or bear walk. So what you're looking at is just walking around on the hands and feet. You can go straight legs. I think I call this a little more bear crawl. Or you could go bent knees, trying to keep the torso parallel with the floor, more of a bear walk. You'll notice that each one of those will have its It's different bits of fun, so you can mess around with both of them. And then the last one is going to be a crab walk. So we're looking at hands and feet again, but you're upside down or right side up or whatever you want to call it. The hips are pointed up as opposed to pointing down. And you can go forwards, backwards. You can go side to side. You're going to get some wrist extension in here, a little bit of shoulder extension, and just getting the blood flowing. So let's take a minute and just get anything we need set up, like your pull-up bar. Ask any questions you've got if you need any modifications or equipment questions. Or if you've got something that's cranky and you want to try something else, something different instead, just let me know and I can give you whatever you need. Job, you got everything you need, equipment. So we're almost at the gym. Okay, I get you. And Jody, do you need a modification for the hang? Do you have something to hang on there? Just going to stretch my back out on the bar. Nice. Yeah, you could hang upside down if you wanted to, Talia. You can have my pups if they like. They won't leave me alone. All right. So set up what you need. Hit the like button before we go. There's only one like. Hit that like button, team. Hit some reactions, especially if you're sitting here bored. I'm at the gym. Perfect. All right, so Jody, no pull-up bar. You could do, you could do, not that it's the same, but you could do a handstand hold. You could do, I know you've done some plank holds. What else could you do? I mean, if you had something like a table or something you could hang on, you could do that in a row. You could even just do an overhead hold. I know you've got that that D ball or the medicine ball. You could lock that out and hold it overhead. Would be a good option as well. You're not getting necessarily the grip, but you know, the stretch in the overhead position. Steady on, lol, just hanging good for me. Yeah. Not upside down. That's okay. All right, off, Mabel. Let's get this going here. Ryan's good to go. And Ryan, are you at home or are you at a gym too? Okay. All right, so I think for the burpees, I'm probably going to aim for 10-ish or so. Good morning, Jason. There we go. There he is. I was worried about you a little bit. Yeah, I'm probably going to push the burpees a little bit, maybe aim for 10, just to make sure that, you know, I'm still warm. Maybe most in the minute for the hang, I think is going to be my goal. And then bear crawl, crab walk, yeah. Don't need much transition for those. They're relatively low intensity. So most of the minute is my goal for all of these. If you feel like the heart rate gets out of control, which probably shouldn't, then feel free to just pull back, 40 seconds or whatever of each one. Okay, team? Let's do it. Or should we do the, should we do this active recovery day? That's better, eh? All right. So 20 minutes. Every minute we're going. All right. Starts with the burpees, hang, bear crawl, crab walk, stairwell and living room, cold outside. Nice, nice. Just missing Yaroslav now, yeah. Where is that guy? Who knows? All right, let's do it. 10 seconds, team. Burpees first. I want that louder. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, whatever pace feels good for you. Still a little stiff. Let's loosen it up. There's 10 for me. is ugh to the music, Jody. I can change it if we need to. All right, hang in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. It's perfect music for this. But let me know if we don't like it, we can change it up. That's 20. A little side to side. Open up the lats a little bit. Someday you may see this pull-up bar fall off the door and me with it. Hopefully not, though. That's 40. If you've got dogs, these next two may be challenging with the bear crawl and the crab walk. They may get excited. 10 seconds. So bear crawls next. Hands and feet with the hips in the air. 3, 2, 1. So you can go more or less a straight leg. Oh, here we go, dog. Or bend the knees. Keep the torso parallel with the floor. Up to you. You can even switch it up each round. You can work the heels down to the floor. If you can, while you're walking, you'll get a little more hamstring opening. You could push the weight into the hands a little bit more. Bring the weight over top. Make it feel a little more like a handstand. The shoulders start to burn a little bit during these guys. Go sideways. Ten seconds. Next is our crab walk. So you're gonna be facing up. Hey, dog. On the hands. 3, 2, 1. Go forwards, backwards, side to side, whatever. I know you love this, don't you? You love this. I don't know if you can hear her growling at me. Morning maid, or morning Maole, she made me laugh. Like, Dad, what are you doing? Yeah, exactly. She's like, she just thinks we're playing here, especially on these days when I move around on the floor. It's so exciting, isn't it? All right, another 20 seconds. That'll be the end of the first round, and we'll be back on our burpees. Dog shenanigans. Hopefully everything's okay there, Jason. All right, 5. Back on burpees. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. I think that was 11. There we go. We're warming up a little bit here now. All right, hang is next in 5, 3, 2, 1. Try to focus on your breathing here. Nice and slow and calm. That's 20 seconds. You can close your eyes if you want. The dog can come and hit you in the crotch. It's 30. Good girl so far for not stealing shoes. 40. 45. 50. Bear crawls next. 55. go ahead. Maybe I'll go bear walk here, knees bent on this one. Feel free to mix it up. Basically bringing your knees to your elbows. You can even hop it. Wow. That's a fancy bear. This one burns the quads. Yee. Hi, dog. That's halfway. Hi, doggy, dog. Oh, you got 2 toys, don't you? 2 toys. Keep it moving. 15. Spread the toes while you're doing this. Maintain your arch. I'm assuming you're all barefoot, of course. All right, crab walk in 3, 2, 1. That's it. Hey. No to the burpees. I got you, Jody. Burpees are essential. Hey, Doug. Hey. This one's the worst. She's got the toys on my lap. There we go. Thanks, dog. Halfway. Try to keep it moving. Hold that position the whole time. Talia, perfect for me. Nice. I think it's pretty good for this type of session, I think. All right, 5 burpees. Round 3, and go ahead. That's 12. Job, is this bringing back bad memories, or you feel good about burpees by now? How's that? All right, hang. In 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna go chin up grip here. Palms back. Are burpees still painful, Job, or we over that now? 15. That's 20. $30. Nice easy breathing. 40. 45. 50. Bear crawls next. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Bear crawl. I'm gonna do some sideways here. Hey, Doug. Ruh-roh. I know, it's fun. That's so fun. Yikes. Arr. That's halfway, 30 seconds. Shoulders feel like sandpaper within the joints. Whoa. Wow. I guess that's what 2,000 will do to you. Sheesh. Got to be coming back together. I'm assuming, though, right? You're feeling better than you did at the beginning. 5. All right, back to the crab. 3, 2, 1. That's it. You could even hang out here and just drop the hips and raise them. Do some of those, some tabletops, and create a table so your dog can just play with her toys on top of you. Hey, is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing? It is. So you can drop and raise. Might do a set of those. A little bit of hip extension. Squeeze the butt hard at the top. Oh yeah, the further you walk the feet out, the harder that gets too. 20 seconds. Do a little walk. Lovely weekend. Thanks, EE. How was yours? I hope you guys are still participating here. 5, 3, 2, 1. Back to burpees. Round 4. It's 12. All right, hang is next. 5, 3, 2, 1. Second last hang. Slow down the breath. $15, $20, $30, that's 40. Bear crawl is next. 50, 55, 3, 2, 1. Bear crawl. Excuse me, dog. You could pick up the pace on the bear crawl if you want. Make it a little bit of a bear jog, trot, whatever you want to call it. Ow. Oh God, dog. Maple. This is a little more tiring this way if you go fast. 20 seconds. Oh, shoulders are getting tired. 10 seconds. And we'll go crab. 5, 3, 2, 1. Hey, excuse me, dog. Took a break yesterday. Slept in. The snatches day really took it out of me. Joe, my knees hear that. Grinding too. He likes, hey, take this. Take your ball. It's on my lap. Get it. There you go. Snatches. Yeah, yesterday equipment, should try that sandbag one. Well, we'll do it next Saturday too. We might change up the format, but that sandbag workout was pretty good. I did like that. All right, coming up towards the last round in 10. So one more round. Burpees, hang, bear crawl, crab walk in 5, 2, 1. Go ahead. Get down, get up. Whoa. All right, last hang, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Slow down the breathing. Nice and easy. Think about your breath. Don't focus on the hands. That's 20. That's 30. Stay with it. 40. Hi, Maple. That's 50. Coming up on bear crawl here, 55. No, I know you got excited. 2, 1. Go ahead. It's like you knew. You knew, didn't you, Maple? You knew it was happening. Buddy dog. 30 seconds. $15. 10. Crab walk is next and last. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, the crab. Last minute. Good to have a day off and a sleep in. Yeah. Ideally not to sleep, and ideally, kind of as we've been talking about today for today's theme, is get up at the same time. Ideally, maintain that habit, you know, whether you beat yourself up or not. But ideally, you get up and move in some way. Ideally, at the same time, every morning. Just think you'll find it's harder and harder to get up on the days. Ow! Ow! Fuck, dog. On the on days when you have off days. Right? If you just maintain the same wake up time every day. 5, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Whew. And as I was saying there, if you maintain the same wake up time every day, your body will just do it automatically eventually. And it won't be nearly as challenging. Meaning there'll be less likelihood for, you know, skipping a day or falling off because it's hard to get up, because it's easier to get up if you do it every day. So I'm not disagreeing with you there, Talia, but I think that especially if you struggle at all, that doing it every day is super beneficial just for building and maintaining the habit. You know, I think I may have mentioned, here, I'll get this dog out of the way. I may have mentioned that I basically wake up now, you know, like 2 minutes before my alarm clock every morning. because my body knows. My body knows that we're doing this and then it's time to get up. And I don't have to think about it because it happens automatically. Okay, TVVM. You can't use acronyms. I don't know what that means. Going back to bed now. No, you're not. I know you're not. Are you driving back today, Jody? All right, so we're going to do a little cool down here. What we're going to do is a stretch that I keep thinking about but always forgetting. We're going to do the old high school or elementary school shoulder stretch here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with this dog, but you're taking one arm over... Stop it. Stop it, dog. One arm overhead and one arm behind you. And then ideally what we're doing is grabbing the fingers behind. If you need to, what you can do is grab a t-shirt or a towel or something and hang it in between and grab it with both hands. But ideally, if you can, grab your fingers. And this is what we'll do here. I was trying to do the 50 cal challenge on this bike. Oh, gross. But my phone was on the screen. Just gassed since I started chatting, and the bike wasn't switched on to begin with. Oh no. Well, now you're warmed up, equipment, you can do it now. Yeah, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Ouch. Yeah, you should just do this active recovery session to warm up and then hop on the bike for the 50 cals. That's an unpleasant workout you've chosen for today. Which reminds me, we've got a good one tomorrow. All barbell. It's a complex. We're gonna do an AMRAP of a complex. To be honest, I hadn't even heard of this complex. I've been doing CrossFit for a long time, and I've mentioned him a few times. Braulio, the coach or the owner of CrossFit Peru, said, hey, on Monday you should do Curtis P. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. So we looked it up. It's in a little complex. I think it's clean, 2 lunges and a shouldered overhead. Sometimes it's called a hang squat clean, 2 lunges and a push press, but we'll play around with it like that. Okay, switch sides if you haven't. So that'll be tomorrow, but we'll talk about that again in a minute. Oh, you might notice that one side is not quite as flexible as the other. Stop it. I am noticing that now with the internal rotation of my right side. Grab it if you can. Oh wow, that's rough. I'm seeing my Cade adults today in New York City and then home late tonight. K adults. What does that mean, Jody? Second back to bed. Stop it. Stop it, I can't see the chat, Maple. Lecky Blanky on. Is Lecky Blanky an electric blank? Lecky Blanky. Cool, I love complexes. I've heard of Curtis P for sure. Yeah, you're more OG than I am, or I just wasn't paying attention for that one. This shoulder stretch. We need to do this more. If I forget to do this in the morning, you guys need to remind me, because this right shoulder absolutely hates that. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna do that one again because I need it. We'll watch a couple clips while we're doing that because I've got some slower ones today. All right, so keeping that stretch. There's my little one helping with setting up the water for the cows. We're just filling up the tank there, and she's just, I guess, inspecting. I gotta go. Inspecting, making sure there are no leaks. And there's this new hose work. Good. So cute. Alright, and then next, a short little clip of the girls breaking some ice. My kids who are adults, adults, I get it. It's funny, my older one there, you know, you hear the term three-nager, and like, I get it, I understand. She does not want to wear snow pants, she doesn't want to wear gloves, she kind of just like acts like she's got it. I'm just like, it's pretty cold out here, kid, but I get it, because I'm sure I was there. I'm sure we all were at one point. Okay, dog, take it easy. Take it easy. All right, next. This is the lame stuff. This is what happens across the road from me. This is what we talk about, how we are not producing food here. There's a combine cutting the corn across the road. It is, November 22nd yesterday. So pretty late in the season. I mean, sometimes they'll actually cut it in the spring to have it dry. We've had actually a lot of moisture recently, so I feel like the moisture content in that stuff is probably pretty high. But this is what farming looks like, by the way. This guy just driving along on the road probably knows this farmer, and he's just like, hey. And everybody stops and talks. But I figured I'd show you a little bit about what that looks like. And then here's the same thing, but with the tractor. Oh, we have like zero connection right now. Red. So there's the tractor pulling the giant trailer, and the combine will fill the trailer with corn, and then the trailer or the tractor will bring that back to a 18-wheeler, and from the trailer fill the 18-wheeler, and then go back and meet the combine again. And it's like a over and over process. Not one that I'm, happy about, but it does happen. Be nice if we didn't do this, but so be it. So that's commodity corn farming right there. What's happening all across North America for stuff that it's either for ethanol or for cattle feed. All right, something better. There we go. And there's Cece. Okay, so while we watch Cece, we'll finish up this stretch. And then we'll chat and we'll shut her down for today. So there's Cece. I feel like she's getting more friendly, which is just more challenging. But, I have to just keep telling myself that this is the best for our family. And this was, the life that they had here was far better than any they'd have in any commodity system, being, stuffed full of grain and all that stuff. But she's definitely much more comfortable with me. She'll come right over. She was almost rubbing up against me, which is a little nervous about because she's huge. And when a 1,000-pound critter rubs up against you, it's, you feel it. But there she is. She's definitely becoming pretty affectionate. Or maybe she's just itchy. I don't know. Good girl. But there's Cece, and there's Lexi and Whiteface as well, and we're under 2 weeks away, I think. So that is food production. That's the reality of it. Okay. Ooh. Let's talk about homework so you can go enjoy your Sundays off. We don't need to do that. I know you like to jump up there, but you knock it every time, dog. All right, so it is 5:55 a.m. and you've done the thing already, right? Especially, on today's topic, that if you were, training for a specific fitness goal and you didn't have a huge background in how the body worked, and you didn't quite understand all the ins and outs of it, you would look at today and think that this is unnecessary or boring or slow. But, there's two most important things, which I've mentioned already, but we're going to go over again. One is that this allows us to train the next day hard because, we're working out the kinks, we're finding some tight spots. Ideally, right now what you're doing is any spots that are extra tight, you're getting on your foam roller, you're doing some extra stretching, you're doing a little bit of mobility so that tomorrow feels great. But then outside of that, and this is kind of the more important one, the one that goes along with our do the most important work one, is that you're building a habit. And the habit is everything, because the times when you don't feel like doing it, when your motivation is low, it's the habit that will keep you through it. It's when nobody's watching and you feel like you want to sleep in, but you've done it so many times in a row that your body just gets up and does it anyways. That's the goal. And that's what we want to create here with the homework section as well, that every time you finish this section, every time that we're kind of shutting down here, is that now, hey, that this is the time that you go and do whatever that thing is, whatever you're working towards, whatever book you're reading, whatever skill you're working on. You have that time built in, dedicated, and it's the habit that you do it, so you don't even have to question it. You don't think, hey, what am I going to do now after this workout? I know what I do because I do it every day consistently, and as a result, I make progress on that thing without having to be motivated, right? That's the key. There are going to be days when you wake up and you feel crappy, right? It happens. I mean, you go to bed feeling crappy and you're like, oh shoot, what am I going to do tomorrow morning? But if you've done it enough times in a row and you've pushed yourself through those days when you don't want to do it a few times, it becomes easier and easier because you become the person that does that, right? I become a person that wakes up at 4:30, and that's becoming my identity because I do it every day. And I'm becoming a YouTuber, content creator, whatever you want to call it, because I'm doing it, not because I thought about it, not because on the days that I wasn't motivated, I will-powered through it, is because I'm creating this habit, because I know that this happens and then this happens, and these are just the things that I do in this order every day. And the more I do that, the more it becomes something that I don't have to think about at all. So think about that, and think about, like, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have something that you're aiming towards right now, use this time to sort that out. I would love if you guys shared what your goals are, what you're working towards, and we can dig into them and break them down. I want to make sure that you have something that you are working towards, that we're making progress towards something in our lives that's bigger than our exercise, bigger than ourselves ideally, so that we have purpose and we're here for a reason, and we don't look back at the end and regret that we didn't take the chances and do the things. Okay, what do we got here? I've got an electric, poor coach, must be torture to watch. Yeah, it's love-hate. I love machines. I think they're very interesting, but what those machines are designed to do and what they're doing and their impact on the planet is not necessarily what I love. So it is challenging to see that. What it's most challenging to see is the land being degraded, right? Being sprayed, being tilled, being plowed, being planted with the same thing in the whole field. It's just unnatural, and I know what it's doing to the soil and the microorganisms that should be in that soil. So it's tough. Got an electric blanket for muscle rehab and relaxing initially. Can't live without it now. Yeah, it sounds pretty nice. Electric blanket is the best. I love mine. Definitely helps ease the low back when I'm trying to bulletproof it this month. Nice. Bulletproof it. My good idea, Ryan, might be try sleeping on the floor for a month. I know that sounds crazy, but you want to get your spine moving a little bit. Lay on something hard. I'm not saying I do that, but it would be a good idea. Jason, underwater knife fighter. Is that your goal? Is that your ambition? I mean, say it was, right? Say that was Jason's goal. I want to, well, let's say underwater knife carver. It would be easy. Every day, I want you, for the first year, I'm going to learn to swim. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to spend half an hour underwater practicing swimming. And then the next year, I'm going to practice every day swimming and carving. And then every day for the next year, I'm going to swim, carve, and blank. And then by the time I've done that long enough, and maybe a silly example, I'm going to be really damn good at that thing. Right? We mention it all the time that most people decide they want to do something or be something, and they start and then they quit right away. Whereas if you stick to that thing long enough, you are going to be successful. It's not even a question at that point because you've put in the time and you've been intentional about making progress, right? I can do the same thing wrong over and over and over and over again and not be very good at it. That's true. But if I focus and I'm intentional about what I'm doing, you can be the best at anything if you just put in that time. So have a goal, dedicate yourself to it, and do it every day so that it becomes a habit and you don't have to think about it and be motivated anymore. Yes, RM, fab idea. I've got a chair with heat and shiatsu. Oh, you've got a fancy car. Or chair, sorry. My car has heated seats. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Really helps back after an injury. Going to get an infrared sheet for my bed. Yes, Jody, I agree. Very cool. Predictive spelling, as I have to use my phone. Sorry. Yeah, no worries. All right, team. So, on that note, homework time. Make sure you sit down, dedicate that hour, to getting that most important work done. Make sure we hit the like button before we run away here. Let's just reiterate what we got going on tomorrow. 10 minutes of Curtis P. Nice, so nice AMRAP to start the week. And then we've got our handstand work. Ideally, maybe I can work up to a minute on, a minute off. I think we were at 50 seconds, maybe 55 last week or this past week. So, fantastic. Back to intensity tomorrow. So if you, if you're feeling like you're chomping at the bit a little bit right now, save it. Get outside, have some fun with your family, do something that you enjoy today after you do your homework, obviously. And then tomorrow, we'll hit it hard again. Let's get that last like before we run away. Oh, there are 4 of you now, so maybe not. Maybe you've all already liked it. Hit the reactions. Remind YouTube that we are having fun here. Let's see. Heard floor sleeping would help a couple times. Will it really help? Give it a shot. Yeah, I think, Ryan, just like anything, you'd want to do it for a consistent period of time to see whether it'd be beneficial for you. But yeah, it would. I mean, I believe that it would absolutely be better for us, right? The cushions that we sleep on, the softer it is, the more our body is allowed to be in its, tightened up, shortened, kind of ugly positions potentially that we create by spending time in non-human positions. So if you do sleep on the floor long enough, so imagine, like this is my thoracic spine posture, which it kind of is. Over time with me laying on the floor, like that's gonna have to open up and flop down on the ground. You know what I mean? Everything will loosen up and eventually open up to the floor. But it'll be very uncomfortable and painful for a while probably. But it would be beneficial. Whether I'm going to commit to that or not, I think it's valuable for sure. Liked and reactions. Thank you, Talia. Thanks, Coach, and everyone. Happy Sunday. Going to make a roast dinner. Ooh, beautiful. We've got leftover brisket for dinner. We had a huge brisket yesterday, which is one of the girls' favorite. The higher the fat, the better for these girls. Talia, I feel you, EE. Thank you. Burpees equals fun. Of course, Jody. All right, team. Job, Jason, I'm going to have to send Yaroslav a message. Hopefully you guys had a good session today as well. Jody, Talia, Equipment, Ryan, you guys are awesome, right? Remember, give yourself extra credit here because you are up on the day that most people would sleep in because it's just active recovery, right? But remember, you are building the habit. And that's what it's all about. And I think even part of it, another excellent part here is that how do I say this? You building this habit gives you the confidence that any other habit that you want to build is going to be easy, especially when you've gone through those hard times, those days when you don't want to do it and you've stuck to it and created the habit. You'll give yourself the confidence that any other habit, especially if it's challenging, that you want to create, you got it, right? You can do it because you can work through, you have experience working through that discomfort. So, great job, everybody. Love you all. Hope you have a great Sunday, and I hope to see you all tomorrow morning for AMRAP Monday. Peace. Have a good one.